Hey guys, this is Guy and Girl Nerd Duo. I'm Karrie.
I'm Frank.
I love The Walking Dead, but Frank has never seen it.
Because it sucks.
Today's episode is going to be about why he's wrong. If you're not fully caught up on Season 6 of The Walking Dead, be forewarned. This is your spoiler alert warning. There will be spoilers in this video, so you've been warned.
Yes, and people are salty because they don't know who Negan killed with his Mick Foley barbed wire bat.
Yeah, they're pretty pissed. Season 6 of The Walking Dead was really exciting. I think it was definitely the best season there has been since maybe season 2. A lot happened, and the best part is that so many scenes mirrored exactly off of the comic books. And I love the comic books. There are so many iconic moments that sometimes I'm very anxious to see play out on screen, and I'm excited to see how it's going to happen. One of the best moments from season 6 was definitely the mid-season premiere where Rick and Carl and Jesse and her kids and Michonne are leaving the house and trying to get through the zombie herd that has broken through the walls of Alexandria.
Correction, they're walkers. They don't actually refer to them as zombies.
The walkers have invaded Alexandria. Shut up, you're the worst. And they're all holding hands, and the youngest basically freaks out and gets eaten alive, and then his mom, Jessie, gets eaten alive, and Rick has to cut off her arm because she won't let go of Carl, and then Carl gets shot in the eye because of her other dick son. It was amazing and so well done. I mean, we can't forget about Jesus this season. He is my all-time favorite comic book character, and he's amazing. Overall, I feel like every single episode in season 6 was a complete nail-biting thriller from the very first episode until the finale. And of course, people are salty about the finale and Negan's arrival, which everyone was really looking forward to. But I feel like there was a certain disadvantage to people knowing what happened in the comic books because everyone was expecting Glenn to die, because that's what happens in the comics. And they always remix things from the comics to the show, so nothing ever plays out exactly the way it should. If the death wasn't already known in the comics, I feel like people would be more okay with how it ended.
So technically, everybody already knows the spoiler.
Everyone already knows.
So there's no spoiler alert. So we could have just said, technically he kills blah, 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 blah.
Well, we don't know. There's been a lot of people who have been trying to investigate that scene and look for clues, because basically it's a bunch of our favorite loved characters, and they're like in a semicircle, and they're all on their knees surrounded by Negan and his saviors, and Negan is basically standing there, and he's got this like 10-minute monologue where he's basically taunting them and being like, well, you've been killing my people, so you have to be punished. And he's got Lucille, his baseball bat, wrapped with barbed wire.
Mick Foley's bat, yeah.
Lucille, who he loves his bat, basically waving it around in everyone's faces, and you don't know who gets it, but there are some suspicions. A lot of people have been speculating about who it could be. I personally think it probably is still Glenn, even though he's my favorite character after Jesus, and I would be very sad to see Steven Yeun off the show. But it could be Glenn, it could be Daryl. I also think that it could be Abraham.
Lincoln? Oh.
There's been hints about how his story could wrap up. And he was the one that sort of actually straightened in front of Negan in a very confrontational manner. So I feel like maybe that could egg Negan on and be like, well, I'm going to choose you because you're a little dick. Even though he's the largest of all. I feel like you would actually like the Abraham character because he has a lot of quips.
Here's my theory of who gets it. Hopefully it's the entire show.
Rude, Mudge. The show was so good. How would you even know you've never even seen it?
Well, I prepared some notes.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna start off with a quote from George A. Romero. He is, put it simply, the zombie horror guru. Okay. They asked me to do a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead, but I didn't want to be a part of it. Basically, it's just a soap opera with a zombie occasionally. I always use the zombie as a character for satire or political criticism, and I find that missing in what's happening now.
That's such a load of shit.
No, it's not. The Walking Dead is nothing but a soap opera. A horrible, horrible soap opera.
I wouldn't call it a soap opera.
Okay. Soap opera elements in The Walking Dead.
Like
and I did
what?
my research. Okay.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay. Carl's teenage angst. No response? Okay. Rick and Jesse's romance.
What was wrong with that?
It's a soap opera element. Lori's pregnancy.
So any romance and any pregnancy is automatically deemed as soap opera-y?
Well, the way they play it, yeah.
How do you even know how they played it? You've never even seen it.
And apparently the Lori, Rick, and Shane love triangle. Yeah, let's throw that in there. It's a little soap opera-y.
That I did not like.
And then there's also characters who are being brought back to life. Glenn. Glenn, he gets torn apart. You see his guts and everything get torn apart.
But they weren't his guts. Don't you get it?
Well,
it
because
was Nicholas's body on top of his.
Oh, great explanation. He actually fought his way back underneath a dumpster. You know how dumb that sounds? That sounds as dumb as a lady riding a coffin to safety and thanking the person inside the coffin the entire time.
What?
Oh, hold on a second. That's actually from a soap opera as well called Passions.
Which obviously you've watched.
No, I just researched. They made this show to attract the married couple or a couple. The guy wants the blood and gore, which you see from time to time, and the woman wants the soap opera elements.
You are so completely wrong.
No.
You are so
the
wrong.
Walkers
How
are...
could you possibly say that if you've never even watched a full episode?
I've seen bits.
Every episode gets gorier and bloodier and nastier thanks to Greg Nicotero and his amazing makeup and special effects.
The Walkers are only there for set decoration.
They are not just set decorations.
Yes, they are. You can replace the Walkers with mummies, vampires, werewolves, hell, even Grimace from McDonald's or the Hamburglar, and it will have no impact on the storyline whatsoever. It's just, they're just there to simply kill off any character they choose to at any time.
So you don't think it's devastating to think about society degenerating into walkers, and basically you could get bitten just or even scratched and be turned and die?
Oh, I
just
do.
like that?
I do. That's what makes great zombie movies, like the original Dawn of the Dead, because it actually comments on society. Whereas this one is just no.
It's there.
No.
It just is not overt. I'm so angry right now.
Let me ask you this. Why would anybody be invested in the characters if they can be killed off and brought back to life so easily?
Well, first of all, the brought back to life comment is not fair and not reasonable, and it's only happened once in this past season.
Twice.
What's the second
one?
one?
Not the past season, I don't know. The second one is Shane. Shane dies, and look, he comes back, technically as a walker, but he's back.
Yeah, but not for long.
Not for
and
long.
that's to show the fact that he was not immune to it. And that he had to be killed off by a character that we know and love.
And the reason why he got killed off is simply so he can go to another show, a better one.
Daredevil. We all know that we love John Bernthal as the Punisher in Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
But is Daredevil a better show than The Walking Dead?
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No. I will say this though. Fear the Walking Dead, the spin-off for The Walking Dead, has so far not lived up to the original, in my opinion. That one, I feel you could have a stronger argument for having more soap opera elements in. But I feel they've been struggling with the writing a little bit, and making the characters that you root for and want to grow to love.
So technically you should fear the writing of the show.
Yes. Yes.
Oh look, we agree on something.
Good pun, Frank.
I'm the Punisher. Cheese alert.
Good fucking God.
The Walking Dead is not psychologically terrifying
Why do you say that?
because it's just blood and gore. We've seen so much blood and gore. It's not terrifying anymore.
6 seasons in now, there is an element where the walkers aren't the most terrifying thing. And
which is why you can replace them with anything.
But I think that's fine, because then it becomes a show about human character. I think Shane was the first good example of that, because he represented someone that was willing to do the hard thing to protect the people he cared about, which at the time, Rick didn't see it that way.
It kind of sounds familiar of another character he plays, now that I think about it.
John Bernthal was Shane in Daredevil.
He should just play that character in everything he does.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
And even, in season 4 with the Claimers, Rick is alone in the house, and they come in not knowing that someone's in there, and he hides under the bed. And that's sort of like the first moment that I really felt like, holy shit. I mean, zombies are threats, they're threats, and they could hurt you and bite you and kill you and stuff. But when you're faced with this sort of devastation and destruction, people revert back to a very animalistic behavior, and they know you can no longer depend on them to act the way that you expect them to or the way that you want them to. They become very unpredictable. That's why, in crises now, people pillage and loot stores, and they just break things because they think that that's, what should happen, and it just gets really crazy. So I feel like the show has actually progressed to a point where you understand that, yeah, the walkers are scary and they're dangerous, but at the end of the day, it's people that are the biggest threats. But my point is,
the psychological element is there.
The psychological element is there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that for that.
Yeah. What I will say though is, if the show is not really your flavor, I think the comic books are still definitely worth a read.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman is a genius, I think. He's created an amazing story, and I think they've done a really good job of weaving a really long and interesting tale about these characters. And, the comics are the reason why a show even exists. And again, like I was saying before, it's so cool to see those panels that are so iconic come to life in the show. And I think that's a big reason of why I love the show, is to be able to get that visual. At the end of the day, the show has some really hot guys on it, so it's worth the watch. Have you seen Norman Reedus as Daryl?
Why would I watch it for...
Have you seen Ross Marquand as Aaron?
Are there hot girls on it?
Jessie was pretty hot.
Then I guess I'm gonna start to watch it.
But then she got eaten alive. Overall, Walking Dead is awesome. And season 6 was amazing. I can't wait for season 7. I hope that they step it up again and make every episode as intense as it was in season 6. And we finally find out who Negan kills. And the show is amazing. Frank?
Well, I think...
Well, that's all the time that we have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And let us know what you think about The Walking Dead. Do you like it? Are you someone that I could fall in love with because you love the show? Or are you like Frank and...
appreciate other things in life.
No, or are a giant douchebag. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Oh, she got eaten out, did she?
Alive! Eaten alive! Not eaten... Oh, God. Because you're a douchebag.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You are the epic definition of a douchebag.
So, I take that as a great compliment because it is a hygienic product that people clean themselves with. So technically, I'm doing good.
This is what I have to deal with.
She loves it.